Kenneth Lutz Sr., raising his son Ken alone in Vancouver while suffering from arthritis was a tough job. And when Ken started hanging out with a rough crowd, that job just became too much. So Ken went to live in a foster home in Burnaby, B.C. with the Boucher family. There he met the Boucher's nephew, Ramsey Ryu, another foster child, a victim of a broken marriage, and a survivor of a difficult childhood.
Ramsey, this is Ken. Ken, Ramsey.
Hey, Ken. Why don't you sit down and have some corn chips?
Sure.
Hey, you want the chair?
Ramsey, he was a quite outgoing boy. He wasn't shy. He liked to talk to everybody and joke around with everybody. Ken, he was on the quiet side. He was very quiet, but once he got to know you, he got really outgoing, and he would laugh and tell jokes and joke around.
My husband and the two boys had gone to the tree lot and had got a Christmas tree, and they had come home and we had dinner, and we had turned on some Christmas music and singing carols and decorating the living room and decorating the Christmas tree. And
Boys, come over here. I know I should wait till Christmas, but I just can't. Here, open these.
Whoa, these are so excellent.
These are great. Well, getting cold, so I figure you're probably going to need them.
Yeah, we're going to need them.
Ah, Merry Christmas. Well, let's just wrap them back up and put them under the tree.
The boys seemed truly happy together at the Boucher home, and yet December 17th, 1989 was the last evening Ken Lutz and Ramsey Ryu ever spent together with the Boucher family. The next morning, they went off to school and never came back.
So, you ready?
I guess so.
You're not going to chicken out.
You call me chicken.
Just a second. Hey, these presents are really cool.
And warm.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Let's go.
Wait,
Look, if we want to stay together, we've got to go, right?
right. Let's go.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Then the next day they would be gone. But they would go for the day, and then they'd either come back or sometimes they'd be gone 2 days, and I'd say, well, you know, why did you boys leave? Oh, because we wanted to go see our friends.
The boys would often take off just for a few days. Usually they would drop in on Ken's father in downtown Vancouver. However, this time, Mrs. Boucher called Ken's father. They were not there. She called the police and their social worker. They both advised her not to worry. The boys would come home as they always had. Unfortunately, this time, they did not return. Shortly after they disappeared, Ken's father started receiving mysterious phone calls.
Whether he was checking the phone number to see whether I was still here or not at that number. And I got 3. I think it was one session, you know. And I said, my son, if that's you, please talk to me. But the one time, as I say, he hung on for about 25 seconds, 30 seconds. But nobody would say anything. And I'm pretty sure it was him because I could hear the sniffling. He was, you know, I figured he was crying. But he still wouldn't talk to me.
What made Ken Lutz and Ramsey Ryu run from a loving home environment? Did they fear they were going to be separated by Ken's father? The authorities simply don't know. Maybe they were just a couple of kids who figured they had nothing, and together they had nothing to lose. This is Ken. And this is Ramsey. They are 12 years old in these pictures. But that was 1988. Today, they probably won't look so vulnerable, so young.
If you have seen Ramsey Ryu or Ken Lutz or know their whereabouts, please call the TD Bank 24-hour fine line staffed by International Project Return. All calls are followed up confidentially by the RCMP.
I'm dressed pretty good for someone who's getting all his clothes at a church, okay? And I'm going into job interviews, not with this ugly coat on, mind you, but with my leather jacket and nice clothes. I try to go in the best I can, present myself for a job interview, and get a job. And I've been turned away every step I take. And it's just, like, there's no end, and I got to do something, like...
It's not that easy. You go and you drop your application's resume off. You have no address. You have no phone number for them to contact you. So how are you supposed to find a job?
When I was younger, if my friends were asking me to drink or something, I did it because I didn't want to lose my friends. And I thought, well, friends are everything. But if your friends are going to ask you to do things you don't want to do, they're not really good friends.
I could never turn my back to somebody on the street because, you know, I know what it's like. You know, I can see their pain. I can just see it in the expression of their face. And it's just reaching out, and it's just trying to talk to them, and just to be their friend for that moment will make it better for someone else.
Yeah, I can't live there, but I can go back and visit and, like, have dinner and whatever, visit with my family, you know. But I'm not sure about Christmas.
No, I don't got no plans. Hopefully, you know, I'm still alive. And, you know, I'll probably be sitting here trying to panhandle or something for a Christmas meal or something.
For more information on how you can safeguard your children, ask for a brochure at your local TD branch. TD, your bank, your way.
We'll be right back with a look at some of the people whose hard work and compassion makes a difference to the lives of runaways and street teams.
From all of us at Entertainment Tonight, Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah and Happy New Year.
Bonjour. Vous avez eu de la chance de trouver de la place?
Je parle pas très bien français.
Et que désire mademoiselle?
Le piano?
Ah, le piano. Mademoiselle, you do speak French. Le piano. Dry without edge.
Time and time again, one battery has risen above the rest. When the dust has settled, it's always been the one left standing. Today's Duracell is the longest lasting ever, which makes it the longest lasting Duracell you can buy. Case closed.
You think you have sensitive skin? Well, I have allergic skin. So it's important for me to use a soap that's pure. That's why I feel safe with the purity of Ivory. A lot of soaps contain greasy creams, colorings, or strong perfume, which I don't want on my skin. But Ivory has none of these additives. Ivory is pure, and I know it's safe for my skin.
Trust Ivory Purity for safe skin care.
Mom? Yeah? You know Angel's sweater?
Yeah?
Like, kind of got grass stains on it. I tried to wash it, but they're still there.
Cindy, once you put it through the dryer, the stains get in.
Sorry.
Let's try again with this new liquid Tide.
With new compact Ultra Liquid Tide, you use less to get out tough stains. And compared to another liquid detergent, Ultra Tide penetrates the fabric faster.
It's clean. Great. Can I wear it tonight?
Excuse me?
Kidding.
New Ultra Liquid Tide. And for extra whitening, Liquid Tide with bleach alternative.
Kids are do-it-yourselfers by nature. And the Fisher-Price Action Workshop and Action Tools lets them do it. Designed like the real thing for hours of constructive behavior. There's a saber saw, a drill geared for fun. Tools so realistic, do-it-yourselfers feel like they really are doing it themselves. Fisher-Price Action Tools and Action Workshop, each sold separately, batteries not included. It's all in a day's fun.
A cop's daughter needs the gift of light.
Get the heart and bring it here fast. Somebody must have taken it.
Let's go!
Can Tony deliver a Christmas miracle? Saturday, it's the commish.
Coming January 2nd, the ultimate pursuit of justice. Viper.
Christmas means lots of different things to lots of different people. For most of us, Christmas means families sharing the joys of the season together. But thousands of Canadian children will spend this Christmas without a warm home and without the loving support they need. In this hour of Missing Treasures, a Home for Christmas special, we look at the people and the organizations dedicated to helping runaways and street kids. We'll also look at those street teens who have managed to beat the streets and transform their lives.
We started on the 8th of December, 1988, 5 years ago, with a 21-foot van that broke down on the average of every 6 weeks. I guess there's a couple of reasons. One was for myself.
This is Father Emmett John. The street teens and runaways in Montreal. He's just plain pops.
We're about to retire. I've been working for years with young people. I started back in '59 as a chaplain of a detention home and of a protection school and stuff like this. And I realized the problem was getting more serious, and it seemed that the church wasn't present to the problem. So I decided to do something about it.
Pops is not like a normal priest. He's very cool, you know? If you have questions or something about religion or about yourself or about anything in general, he's there, but he doesn't push things on you. He founded Donlaroo, and I guess he's like a saint to everybody, you know? And he's probably one of the, he's definitely my best friend.
Basically, it gives friendship. A friendship that is demonstrated in concrete terms by offering them a hot dog. And hot dogs are kind of cute in a way, in that it requires the young person to interact with the person offering them a hot dog. You just, unlike sandwiches, you can sort of throw sandwiches at people, but hot dogs, you have to say to them, what do you want on your hot dog? And it's really funny to see a new arrival on the van coping with that answer. But that warms them up. And then we say, want some coffee? How about some hot chocolate? Oh, this kind of interaction is just, it has an amazing reaction on the newcomers.
A lot of these kids are distrustful from people because they don't know if you're going to, what you want from them in return, you know? They're so used to getting abused, so used to getting, nothing comes for free in this world, you know? You want a place to crash, well, you got to sleep with me to have that place to crash.
Everybody's welcome. No, we don't discriminate. Of any fashion, color, whether they're rockers or punkers or skinheads or whatever. Hey, everything is cool on the van. It's really fun.
If you want to do something with your life, you have to feel better about yourself, because if you feel that you're nothing, then you're not going to want to do nothing with your life. And Donlaroo makes people feel that they're not just a statistic, that they're not just a number. Donlaroo makes you feel that, you know, you can be better than what you were. So then it makes you want to be something better. If it wasn't for Donlaroo, I don't know what the kids on the street would do today.
If you see through the green hair and the blue hair and the red hair and the, you know, the belts and the chains and the Doc Martens and all these sort of things, you see beyond those, the facade, you see just ordinary young kids, ordinary young people.
Father John's and Donlaroo in Montreal are not alone. During the making of this special, we were impressed by the number of people and organizations across the country who are committed to helping runaways and street kids, and by the depth and strength of their commitment. In Toronto, the Kensington Youth Theatre and Employment Skills Center, KITES, is an organization that uses a theater program to provide runaways and street teens with confidence and a sense of purpose and achievement.
One of the things that we are building here is a true community of youth on the street. Lots of people speak to street youth, but there isn't yet a vehicle for them to speak for themselves. And that's one of the things that KITES is about. You don't want to do it? Come on up. So where, right here? Okay. Okay, can anybody add themselves so that they have even greater power? They're not neon rider kids with a bad attitude and a really cool leather jacket. They're 15, 16, 17-year-old people with no education, no background, no basis for any kind of confidence or optimism, who are trying to survive. That's why I find it so funny when people think of street youth as being, you know, tough and hard and criminal and dangerous, and they're afraid of street youth. They're afraid of some cold, malnourished 16-year-old kid who hasn't slept in 3 days, who's terrified. and maybe puts on a bit of a tough bravado front because it's the only walls they have. A lot of what we do here is to create problems, create challenges, an equal number of which are genuine successes, and also equal number are survivable failures. It's okay to fail. It's okay to try.
Sitting there, there's people surround him with sort of bodyguard him.
Don't talk about it. Come do it. Go ahead, Tony. As much as we can actually create a real community, we try really, really hard not to offer any myths. You know, we're not sitting here saying, you know, just through the Kites program everything will be rosy, or you can solve all your problems here, or everybody loves you. That's all crap. But if some genuine friendships or some genuine sense of community comes out of this, then it's a real achievement.
Well, I've got my drinking under control now. Can actually conserve my money a bit better. And a lot of people have told me they like me a lot better sober than drunk.
My mom passed away when I was 13 years old from multiple sclerosis, and my father was abusive, so I went to my best friend's house.
In Halifax, one of the people who makes a difference is Police Constable Robert Lowther. Rob, as he's known to the kids on the street.
For a fair while, and I knew that the street wasn't where I wanted to be. So, you know, I went through a lot. It was very difficult going to university, full time, working 50, 60 hours a week, and that's very hard. And I realized that that's what a lot of these guys and gals have to go through. They've got to, just to go to high school, they've got to work 2 or 3 jobs in order to support themselves and continue their education. So I know how hard it is. Some of them, they come from, like I say, abusive homes. Some of them come from one-parent homes where the mother or father is an alcoholic, the mother or father is a drug addict, and they just can't go home. The parents don't want them. There's actually a high percentage of these kids that can go home. They have loving, caring parents at home, but for whatever reason, they can't take the authority. They don't like being in at 10 o'clock. They don't like doing dishes, whatever it is. They're on the street. Maybe if we can help them realize that the street is just not a good place to be. You're both pretty close to family to some of these people. You're there to listen to them. You're there to offer hopefully some guidance, some support, tell them where they can go, what they can do, the avenues they can take. Hopefully let them see that the street just isn't the place to be.
He tries to help people out, and he understands. I mean, Rob seems to be a lot different from a lot of officers I know. I mean, he is open with himself. He'd do anything for you. I mean, he's one of the greatest officers I know, and I mean, I really like to thank him for what he's done for me and other people. I mean, he's really done a lot.
Pops, Rob, Kites, Don LaRue, these are only some of the people and organizations across Canada that make a difference in the lives of runaways and street teens. All the people and organizations that make a difference have this in common. They refuse to accept runaways and street kids as a fixed and unchanging part of our urban landscape. They know that with energy, compassion, and support, the lives of runaways and street teens can be transformed.
If you want to beat the street and reconnect, call the TD Bank Missing Treasures, a Home for Christmas special, fine line, staffed 24 hours a day by International Project Return. They'll refer you to an organization or an agency that can help.
18-year-old Jason Luddington from Strattown, Prince Edward Island, had a lot of problems. He had been kicked out of school, and he and his parents fought almost constantly. They argued over little things like household chores. Their real difficulties lay in Jason's continuing problems with the law. In December of 1991, Jason had stolen over $1,000 worth of cigarettes. It was his 3rd offense, and Jason was terrified of what the sentence might be. And so on January 21st, 1992, the night before Jason was to appear in court to answer charges for his theft of cigarettes, he found his own solution for his problems with the law and with his family.
My stepfather's a very light sleeper, so be really quiet. Okay.
On January 21st, 1992, 17-year-old Jason Luddington and 3 friends stole his parents' car. They left Prince Edward Island and headed west for Ontario.
Get in.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. It seems that Jason thought he could take off and escape from his problems, but as Jason was soon to find out, when the problems you leave behind come after you, they come after you with consequences.
It spans the horizon, crossing 5 time zones. The coast-to-coast symbol of friendship between two nations. The world's longest unprotected border. And there is a company that will protect you on either side of this border with 24-hour roadside assistance. Which is why, if you get stuck for any reason at all, we'll be there to help you on your way. Even in the center of Edmonton, Kentucky. The company is General Motors.
Bonjour. Vous avez eu de la chance de trouver de la place?
Je parle pas très bien français.
Et que désire mademoiselle?
Le piano?
Ah, le piano. Mademoiselle, you do speak French.
Le piano. Dry without edge.
Okay, everybody, all right. Let's give a big human welcome to
Daniel's brilliant new video commander system lets you shoot without looking through the camcorder, so it's head and shoulders above the competition.
Available at Audio Warehouse.
No matter how old your wood furniture may be, there's no better way to keep it looking young than with New Pledge. Because New Pledge has cleansing conditioners to gently lift the dirt, the smudges, and the fingerprints that regular dusting can leave behind. New Pledge with cleansing conditioners for beautiful wood every time you dust. From S.C. Johnson Wax.
Okay, let's meet at Red Lobster in an hour.
Right now, it's Red Lobster's Pound of Shrimp Dinner. For a short time, get garlic shrimp, fried shrimp, grilled shrimp, a whole pound of Red Lobster shrimp at a very special price. Happy holidays from Red Lobster.
Dave knows how to make this world a safer place.
Couldn't we just get a sign that says we have an alarm? I don't think they sell the steel one.
Secure yourself some laughs on Dave's World. Harry Anderson has a lock on comedy.
Monday at 7:30.
The ballet taught me to communicate through dance, but it was Aminata, my foster child in Sierra Leone, who taught me about a different kind of communication. Through letters and updates from the plan office in her country, I'm able to feel like a part of her life, helping her and her entire community achieve self-reliance. Experience the joy of making your own special connection. Call Plan International Canada, 1-800-268-7174.
On January 21st, 1992, 17-year-old Jason Ludington stole his parents' car and just took off. But the problems that drove him to steal the car and run away began sometime before that. Because Jason had a hearing impairment, he had always had difficulty in school. In October 1991, he was expelled from high school for truancy. Jason had previously been charged with possession of a stolen car and subsequently charged with possession of a stolen bicycle. But in December of 1991, he was arrested for a third offense. Jason's actions were videotaped and reported to the police. For stealing the cigarettes, Jason was charged with theft over $1,000 and was ordered to appear in court on January 22nd, 1992. Because of his ongoing difficulties with his parents, Jason didn't tell them he was arrested.
What's this?
What?
This!
How am I supposed to know? I can't see it from here.
It's a summons.
Oh.
Oh?
I didn't want to tell you.
Please tell me.
I took some cigarettes.
You took some cigarettes. You didn't take, you stole. It says you're over $1,000 worth of cigarettes. That's not some.
I didn't want to tell you because I knew you'd get upset.
Oh, well, you're right, Jason. I am upset. When are you going to learn that acts have consequences, huh?
I know they do.
No, you don't. You stole over $1,000 worth of cigarettes, and you got caught. Jason, I love you, and I'll always love you. But when are you going to learn to take responsibility for what you do?